Well, the Union Health Minister has said that 18 districts haven't seen a fresh case of COVID-19 in the last 14 days. And no new case of the coronavirus has been reported in 147 districts in a week in India. More good news, while Delhi's daily COVID cases have fallen below the 100 mark for the first time in 9 months. And if that's not good news enough, well, there's more coming your way, because the Health Ministry has issued guidelines in which swimming pools will be permitted for use for all from the 1st of February. Cinema halls and theatres can operate at a slightly higher seating capacity than what was previously permitted. There are going to be no restrictions between inter and intra-state travel as well. But remember, the mutant strain of the coronavirus from the UK has been found in India, over 150 cases already. Are these, reasons to celebrate or cause for caution? We have Dr. Hemant Deshmukh, Dean of the KEM Hospital, joining us from Mumbai. And we have Dr. Sumit Ray, the Head of Department Critical Care Medicine at the Holy Family Hospital, joining us from Delhi. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us. I want to begin, by asking you, Dr. Hemant, if I can. The good news is not so much from districts in Maharashtra is what we're learning. Maharashtra and Kerala still have cause for concern. How are you looking at these developments, what the Health Ministry has said today and the relaxation of the rules?
Yeah, depending on the relaxation of the rules for a shutdown, what we are planning to do is we are always anticipating any kind of increase in surge of a COVID positive patient. So we are not shutting down the facilities for treatment of either a mild case or a moderate case or a severe case. So any unexpected spike in the number of cases, I think we are ready to treat them, we are ready to isolate them, and we are ready to definitely see to it that the transmission is reduced. We are always ready to see to it that we break the chain of transmission of these residents who are coming from outside Mumbai. And therefore, any good news for them is obviously lesser good news for us as treating physicians. Right.
Dr. Sumit Ray, which way would you look at this new data that's coming in? You know, certain districts haven't seen cases in over 14 days. This is extremely good news. But what explains the fact that, India's cases are dipping the way they are?
Right. It's good news for sure, but we have to be watchful. And, it's important, like Delhi has done the seropositivity tests, and to be watchful, do tests in larger urban centers and look at the seropositivity rate. As your previous speaker Dr. Natarajan from Mayo Clinic said, vaccination is one element of it, but if already seropositivity is more than 50%, as in many districts of Delhi, so a combination of vaccination and this kind of testing could help us identify areas where the possibility of transmission is less.
Right.
And it cannot be a generalized opening up of everything across the country. It has to be area, region specific, I think. And I think still now we have to be watchful and in public health measures, in terms of mask, etc. But also the fact is, do we really need to accept areas where clear-cut seropositivity has shown that the chances of transmission are less? Do we really need to open up completely the swimming pools or completely the cinema halls, etc.? Education, I can understand. Entertainment, I know it's important, but probably we have to be much more careful at this point.
So you're still treading on the side of caution at the moment. Dr. Deshmukh, would you agree? Because, there is a threat of the mutant strains of the coronavirus that have proliferated across countries in the world, including here in India. In the midst of that, are these restrictions being lifted? Is it welcome?
They're not totally welcome as such, but this mutant strain can be a tip of the iceberg also in India. What we are seeing right now is a very small number, but the moment each small number tries to transmit the disease to a larger percentage of people, then it's definitely a cause for concern.
Yes.
I would be very guarded there. I would keep my eyes and ears open, and we are ready to tackle any kind of emergencies if they arise.
Right. Dr. Ray, if I can ask you that the other big question at the moment is, of course, around vaccination. Now, here also, as far as the numbers are concerned, India is doing well. We've already surpassed some major nations of the world in terms of the pace of vaccination and the daily vaccinations that are being carried out. However, there are still a certain section of experts who believe that we need to be vaccinating much more per day than we are to meet our own targets, in which case, vaccinations should start happening at private hospitals. It should be made available in the free market as well. What are your views on that?
No, I don't think it should be made available into the free market at all yet. I think it should be a public health process controlled by the government at this present moment. And I have questions about, I mean, yes, we should hasten the pace for those with comorbidities and risk of severe disease. But do we really need to vaccinate our whole population? There are two schools of thought on that. And I believe in the other school of thought that if we can keep checking on the seropositivity, if you focus on those regions and in the younger population, etc., if the seropositivity rate is high, do we really need to vaccinate them is a big question, because we don't know for both seropositivity and vaccination, how long is that going to sustain itself, the antibodies? Even for vaccination, we don't know. So should we be spending so much money on vaccination when we can ourselves be developing the immunity to it? Okay. Yes, people with high risk, comorbidities, etc., understandable. We should go for early, fast vaccination for them. Also, the fact is that we have to be watchful for the fact, as the professor from Mayo Clinic said, that we have to be watchful if the mutant is blocked by the vaccine or not. If we give vaccination to everybody and then down the line we find that a mutant is not blocked by the vaccine, or we need to add a dose or need to tweak the vaccine, so we have to constantly watch that element too. So I don't think we should be rushing to vaccinate the whole population, but focusing on those with high risk and comorbidities and constantly getting data about seropositivity and regional data, localized data, and the national data.
Right. And Dr. Deshmukh, would you agree, is our vaccine dissemination strategy prudent, or, do we need to constantly also be reinventing basis seropositivity data, basis genome surveillance?
The whole idea of vaccinating a population, this is definitely divided into three phases of healthcare workers, then the frontline workers. The idea behind this is to increase the immunogenicity amongst the population itself, so that even if you immunize, say, 60 or 70%, that's a huge number for us. And once you immunize more than 40% of the population, a point will come where the general immunity amongst the population will increase, and the transmissibility will definitely decrease to an extent where you will not be able to transmit a disease so easily, which is happening. Yeah.
I'm completely out of time, but Dr. Ray, very last word. Would you recommend going to a swimming pool come 1st of February once it's allowed to reopen?
Well, it's too cold as it is.
At least in Delhi, it's too cold. Okay.
Yeah, it's too cold. But I think, in terms of entertainment and swimming, etc., I think we should hold back for this, except in certain regions where there is seropositivity high and transmission is less, then we can do that. Yeah.
Dr. Deshmukh, would you agree?
Yeah, definitely agree. It should be a guarded opening of the swimming pools. I don't know, that's not the first priority right now anyway.
Yes,
all right.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much, doctors, for sparing your valuable time and being with us.